So can I stir up the pot a little bit with spirituality in terms of, as far as I see yoga, and we're talking about embodying physicality, in terms of viewing typologies as like masculine, feminine, I see embodying the body in like yogic practices ultimately as a feminine aspect of consciousness, or one type. There seems to be two typologies that kind of, from my perspective, underlie our experience, and this other one is a very conceptual or objective. You know, it's very easy to meditate and just distance yourself from the body and the thoughts, everything arising. That's a form of meditation that can happen. You can sit in there an hour, the whole day almost, and do that. But it's a very distancing effect, categorically different from a yogic embodying, more feminine. Yeah. You're tactile. You're feeling things around you. You know, you're not objectifying in a sense. But some could say you could integrate both, right? You could objectify while you were feeling, and you embrace this new third kind of trinity dimension of like masculine, feminine, or subjective, objective at the same time. How much do you go into meditation in the objective form, while in terms of your yogic practice? Do you think it's okay to mix it? Do you try to keep them separate, or what do you do when you're doing yoga and meditation, Rae?
Well, how much is a hard question to answer, but I totally agree with combining the two. That I think that is why we do yoga. Your body is going to be feeling sensations because you're moving it, you're waking it up. It's like if you have an exciting idea or something, you have that like, oh yeah, inspiration. You know, inspiration hits your mind in a certain way. It's like you're inspiring each part of your body, so your body is very alive. Yeah. So your body is very sensational, yeah, but on the inside, well, it's getting screwed up.
Yeah, it looks strange for some reason. I mean, you're really getting into it, but it's... Okay, so we're talking about... You remember we're talking about...
Yeah, so your body's going to be feeling all these sensations, and that is separate, but in one with the place where your mind is at... The place where your mind would be, which is this kind of calm observer, right? Which is, I believe, is the point. And I think a lot of people get caught up in the sensations of it, because it does feel really good. It feels really right to have your body alive in that way. But yeah, the meditation is a really important part of it. So this type of yoga that I've been studying uses meditation a lot, but different from what you'd expect. More like action-oriented meditation. So you'd be doing a very repetitive action for sometimes up to 26 minutes or something like that, with really heavy breathing, and it's crazy what'll happen to you, and it is kind of like what some people would consider to be hyperventilation in a way, but it's your body, you know. May as well play around with it, like see how it works. You know, some things will actually you can feel an elevation inside of your body, in your cells. So
yeah. I wanted to ask you, Rae, because we've been tossed around the world with a word that's pretty ambiguous, spirituality. What does that mean for you, and can you define it from your perspective? Because people can interpret it very differently, as you've seen probably on YouTube in real life. Their spirituality actually means something that's a categorical, different kind of wavelength or undertone, and it becomes apparent when they give the context. So I'm asking you, I think we're asking you to give your context on spirituality, just to kind of give another perspective on it, so people can say, oh, you know, I get that, or I don't really see her point of view, but now I understand. So could you give us your perspective on spirituality, what it means to be spiritual for you? Take it home. It's okay.
It's tough, because I feel like spirituality for me, and probably for anyone who... I don't think that anyone is outside of the realm of spirituality. I think that we are all involved in it. It's different levels of where we want to bring it into our lives. But yeah, what is this it?
Is it like, so for some spirituality means I'm conforming to this deity out there.
Right.
I know, you know, is it like that for you, or is it more a philosophy, a way of being for you? No, are you not, the people conform to this holy book, and they say that's spirituality. You need to follow these rules, and if you go against that, then God shall smite thee. Maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's it's more like a Buddhist philosophy or Eastern. How much of that Eastern traditions do you integrate, and how much Western traditions do you honor and integrate into your overall philosophy? So is spirituality a type of philosophy for you, or is it a theology? Is it something that you have to practice by the rule book, or what? In that sense, what is it for you?
Definitely a combination of things. Like I guess in a way, I haven't learned to categorize these things so well because I've learned things from all different directions, right? So I couldn't. I mean, I'm sure if I took the time to look at every single one of my beliefs, I could say this is an Eastern, this is a Western, or whatever. This is from, I don't know, some organic place. But I feel like spirituality, it doesn't have to have figures and names and numbers on it. Just it's a connection that in so many ways is inexplicable, and that's, I think, why we have such a hard time pinning it down and agreeing upon it.
Well, I mean, you said when you were trying to answer the question earlier that you don't think that anyone lacks a spiritual perspective of some kind. Right? So we're all sort of in spiritual situations. It's just a matter of how aware we are of it or what layer we're at. And maybe something like yoga is a spiritual technology that allows you to develop that awareness of what the spiritual is. Because it is a hard question to answer. Just ask it on the spot. What is your spirituality, or what is spirit? I mean, language doesn't seem to do it, but maybe a spiritual practice can help you experience better what that word might point to.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what I was thinking about beforehand as a suggestion for what we could talk about was about the yogic lifestyle, and how is that necessary? Do we really need that to form a strong spirituality? And I'm really on the fence about it. Like, I'm on the fence about it all. I feel like, there's a cat coming in the window. There's
Spiritual cat.
Yes, very much so. I'm gonna have to open the door for him probably. I feel like using different traditions can really improve our connection to this spiritual side of ourselves, because you feel it stronger when you know, I don't know, you're living in a righteous way or something. I was trying to understand that myself, and I guess the levels of the levels of spirituality and having
There's the cat.
There
he is. He's a big fella.
It's like Garfield back there.
Looks like what?
Garfield. Is he orange or is he
wolf?
orange?
Yeah, he's orange.
Garfield.
Yes.
You should name him Gary.
His name is Hunter.
Oh. He's found something in the background, apparently. Stealing the show, by the way. Right. You're gonna have to get him out of there.
No. Well, it's good because this is, I think, why I have difficulty with this kind of thing, and why it's really nerve-wracking for me to do this type of thing, because the words, I have really hard time, and I was talking about this last night. I just leave the sentence to go, but I'm going to forget about the interview thing and just talk to you guys, because that would be easier for me.
Do it.
But, yeah, I was talking with Kat last night, and I was thinking about how my mind is kind of geared, or how it works, and she was agreeing that it's similar for her. So we were thinking maybe it's a female thing, I don't know, that we have this kind of like many avenues of thought, and I was relating it to how I'm traveling all the time and kind of like finding these pods of things, or different pods of life, and different people and experiences that kind of stay in these detached places, and what I'm trying to look for is this kind of linear connection between them, so I can communicate my thoughts properly, and it's trying to get it out in a way that people can understand. So because now I feel like I can express things when I'm with somebody, when I'm sitting with somebody, I feel like I can really express things. But yeah, words are really difficult.